in a quiet neighborhood in Maplewood, Ohio. Carol Watson lived with her husband Michael and their son Jason. Morning sunlight filled the kitchen as they sat at the table together. "Jason, did you finish your homework?" Carol asked while putting pancakes on his plate. Her voice was always warm and gentle. She had learned patience from years of working at the library. 17-year-old Jason rubbed his eyes but smiled. "Mostly. The math was hard, but I got through it." Carol smiled and patted his head. She had worked at the local Willow Creek Library for 10 years and loved helping people discover books. Her family appreciated that. "Well done," Michael added, looking up from his newspaper. He was a computer programmer, good at solving problems. "It's just like coding, you take it one step at a time." They looked like a normal family, but things weren't simple when it came to Carol's parents, Robert and Ellen. They were important people in town and had strong opinions. As Carol made breakfast, the phone rang. It was her sister, Brenda. Carol sighed and picked it up. "Carol, April won first place in the math contest again," Brenda said excitedly. "Mom and Dad are so happy, they're coming for dinner tonight." Carol smiled, but her heart sank a little. "That's great, tell April I said congratulations." Brenda's daughter April, who was 15, was called the family genius. She won math contests, science fairs, and got a lot of praise and support from their grandparents. Jason, on the other hand, had average grades. Carol's parents quietly looked down on him. After the call, Carol looked out the window at the peaceful street. She thought back to her childhood. Her parents had always favored Brenda, cheering her wins and comforting her when she failed. Carol, though, was often ignored or criticized. "Was that your mom?" Michael asked, noticing Carol's expression. "No, it was Brenda. April won something again," Carol replied, trying to stay calm. Michael took her hand. "Jason is amazing, no matter what his grades are." Jason had dyslexia, which made reading and math harder for him, but he never gave up. With his parents' help, he kept learning and making progress. "I know," Carol said, "we're proud of him. Grades don't show the whole picture." Jason was a kind, caring person. He helped his friends, volunteered at the animal shelter, and taught sports to younger kids. Carol and Michael valued his kindness most of all. Carol had also heard rumors that April wasn't as perfect as everyone thought. Some said she bullied classmates and cheated on tests, but Brenda and their parents wouldn't believe it. To them, April could do no wrong. That evening, while Jason worked on his homework, Carol and Michael sat in the living room. "I need to ask my parents about Jason's college fund," Carol said. "I'm not sure if they're handling it like they said they would." Her parents had offered to manage the money for Jason's education when he was born. Back then, Carol and Michael had trusted them. Michael smiled calmly. "Don't worry." "What do you mean?" Carol asked, surprised. "Just trust me," Michael said. "It'll be okay." Carol had a feeling Michael knew something but didn't push him. She trusted him. They sat close together on the sofa, looking out at the stars. Tomorrow was Jason's 17th birthday, and a family dinner was planned. Carol hoped it would be a peaceful, happy day. "I want to see the proof," Michael said calmly. "Sure, Robert," he continued, "but first, why did you suddenly give Jason's college fund to April?" "That's obvious," Ellen jumped in. "The money should go where it'll bring the most results. April is talented, Jason is just." She stopped. "You mean ordinary?" Carol asked, her voice shaking. "Is that how you see your own grandson?" Brenda frowned. "Be realistic, Carol. April has awards. What has Jason done?" "He's growing as a person," Michael replied quietly. "That matters, even if you don't see it." Robert, clearly annoyed, opened his briefcase. "I didn't come for a lecture. Look at this." He placed legal papers on the table. "This deed shows the fund is in our name. We get to decide how it's used." Carol and Michael looked at the papers calmly. "You're right," Michael said, "but there's one problem." "What?" Robert asked, confident. "The account is empty," Michael replied with a smile. "I moved the money to a new trust 3 years ago." "What?" Robert shouted. "That's not possible without our approval." "Oh, but it was," Michael said, still calm. He pulled out his phone and opened an app. "Look here, this is Jason's current education fund, separate from the one you thought you controlled." The screen showed a large amount of money. Brenda gasped. Ellen looked shocked. "This is illegal," Robert yelled. "You tricked us." "I didn't trick anyone," Michael said. "I was just being smart. I knew you might try to take away Jason's future. I'm a counselor, Carol added softly. I've seen your favoritism for years. You always preferred Brenda and looked down on Jason. Brenda looked upset, but April needs the money. She deserves to go to a top school. You should have saved for your own daughter, Carol said coldly, her voice full of hurt. Robert angrily grabbed the papers. This isn't over. We'll take you to court. Go ahead, Michael replied. He opened another document on his phone. This is a letter from my lawyer. He says the transfer was legal. You have no case. Silence filled the room. Robert and Ellen went pale. Brenda sat down, shocked. Why would you do this? Ellen asked, her voice trembling. To protect Jason, Michael said. We saw this coming. Robert looked furious but knew he had lost. We're still family, he muttered. We have rights. Family? Carol let out a sad laugh. You never treated Jason like family. Brenda stood up, tears in her eyes. Carol, that's not fair. We're done here, Carol said firmly. Please leave. After they left, Jason came downstairs. He had heard everything. Are you okay? He asked. Carol and Michael hugged him tightly. We're fine, Carol said. You're safe now. No one can take your future. Why didn't you tell me about the money? Jason asked his dad. I didn't want to worry you, Michael said. Sometimes, keeping quiet is best. That night, their family felt closer than ever. The world outside might still be tough, but they had love and trust. That was worth more than anything. A few weeks later, it was graduation day at Maplewood High School. The school lawn was filled with chairs and red and gold decorations. Carol held Michael's hand tightly, watching the students walk in. Jason's graduation. She had dreamed of this day. Nervous? Michael asked. A little, but I'm happy, Carol smiled. They hadn't invited Carol's parents or Brenda's family. Since the argument, things hadn't improved. They only spoke now and then on the phone. It's starting, Carol whispered as the students marched in. She spotted Jason, walking proudly with his classmates. He looked confident, nothing like the shy boy he used to be. He's grown up, Carol said, eyes tearing up. After the principal's speech, the awards began. Carol and Michael didn't expect Jason's name to be called. He had average grades and struggled in school. Then the principal said, "This special award goes to a student who showed not just academic effort, but creativity, strength, and kindness. The Spirit of Resilience award goes to Jason Watson." Applause filled the air. Carol and Michael were stunned. "Did you know about this?" Carol whispered. Michael shook his head. "Not at all. He kept it secret." Jason walked to the stage. The principal smiled and said, "Despite his learning challenges, Jason showed amazing talent. His short story won a state contest, and his music was praised in a top composer program. He also volunteered at an animal shelter and helped kids with dyslexia." Carol covered her mouth, overwhelmed with emotion. Jason had grown in ways they hadn't even known. Jason accepted his award and gave a short speech. "I'm so honored. Thank you to my parents for believing in me. They never judged me and let me grow at my own pace. I also thank Miss Jones for supporting my writing. Everyone has their own talents. Don't give up. Keep looking, you'll find them." The crowd clapped. Carol and Michael stood and waved. Jason saw them and smiled brightly. After the ceremony, Jason ran to his parents, proudly holding his trophy. "Surprised?" he laughed. Carol hugged him tightly. "Why didn't you tell us?" "I wanted it to be a surprise," Jason said. "I was afraid I might fail." Michael patted his shoulder. "You've made us so proud." Jason grinned. "There's more." He pulled out an envelope with a music college logo. "I got a full scholarship to Berklee College of Music." Carol and Michael gasped in joy. Jason had secretly applied and impressed the judges with his original music. "That's not all," Jason added. "I also got a partial scholarship for literature from another school, so I have choices." Carol's heart swelled with pride. Her son had found his path, his way, and no one could take that from him.